Prologue. Spain, 1183. Chisels rang out in the great cathedral of Santiago de Compostela as Grand Master Arnold of Troja inspected the mason's fine work. He traced his fingers over a newly hewn symbol on a massive pillar. The final code. A last precaution should anything happen to myself or any other Grand Master. Arnold's body stiffened as the sound of footsteps echoed toward him. A burly man came into view, and he loosened his clenched fists. "Oh, it's just you, Paolo." Paolo, the foreman of the Masons, stopped and put his hand on his stomach in a sign of fidelity. "Grand Master, the work is almost complete. Would you like us to engrave anything else?" Arnold looked past Paolo's shoulder at the other Masons. They had worked ceaselessly since their arrival, and every column lining the immense cathedral was now covered in symbols. "No, that will suffice. You and your men have done good work. God's work." "Forgive me for saying so, Grand Master, but desecrating a church with these symbols doesn't feel like God's work." Arnold chuckled and shook his head. He gestured toward the symbols he had been examining. "I hope neither you nor anyone else will ever have to understand this." Paolo nodded. "Forgive me questioning, Grand Master." "There is nothing to forgive. You are strong and loyal, my boy. You would have made a fine soldier in the Holy Land." Arnold's vision blurred, and the smile disappeared from his face. He heard the screams again. They haunted his waking thoughts since he had left Jerusalem. He rubbed the stitching of the red cross that adorned his white tunic and muttered, "A Templar's sworn duty is to protect. How many men have I lost since?" "Grand Master?" "Oh, it's nothing. That will be all." Arnold straightened his garments and walked to the pew where his sword lay. He hoped its weight would steady his shaky hands. Arnold knelt, and the pew groaned, sending its melody to the rafters where it mixed with the beating chisels. He made the sign of the cross and bowed his head. "My Lord Jesus, I pray our actions will protect what you have entrusted to us, and that you will forgive the sins of my predecessor, Odo." The screams began again. Odo's name triggered the memory of the day his life and the world changed forever. Arnold took a few breaths, but the Battle of Montgisard continued to rage in his head. A drop of perspiration fell from Arnold's brow and hit his clasped hands. He blinked a few times, unsure how long he had been trapped in that memory. A well of emotion rose inside him as he stared at the cross. "I fear Jerusalem will soon fall." Arnold's hairs stood on end. His prayer was interrupted not by a sound, but by the unsettling silence. The hammers and chisels of the masons had ceased. Everyone was gone. Arnold took the sword from his lap and walked cautiously in the direction he had last seen Paolo. As he approached the final pew, the smell of death was in the air. Arnold took a putrid breath and rounded the corner, weapon drawn. At the base of the column lay Paolo's severed head, staring at him. His eyes, which had been so full of life moments earlier, were now transfixed with a look of horror. Tears filled Arnold's wrinkles like Paolo's blood filled the cracks of the floor. Were those screams? Were they... To his left there was movement. A shadow. Arnold closed his eyes. He knew what was coming. My Lord Jesus Christ, have mercy on me, he whispered through quivering lips. A deafening hiss filled the air, and Arnold felt movement like a winter's wind. He raised his weapon just in time to intercept a curved sword. He opened his eyes, but it made no difference. All he saw was blackness, a giant shadow looming over him.